This video provides instructions on how to fit one of our heat, air, gas and electric models to a Fiat Ducato, a Peugeot Boxer and a Citroën Relay. For safe installation, carefully read and understand the installation instructions provided with heat, air. Before commencing work, ensure the vehicle is isolated from any power source. All gas products must be installed and serviced by a qualified gas engineer in accordance with the installation instructions and BS EN 1949 to 2011. All electrical work must be carried out by a competent person as defined by BS 7671. To start, we will show you how to assemble the bracket and heater on a bench. The bracket comes in two parts. Fit the larger assembly first to the heater, locating the tabs in the slots on the side of the housing. Next, take the smaller assembly and insert the tabs on the larger bracket assembly into the slots in the smaller one. Insert the tabs of the smaller bracket into the housing slots. Using the 6 screws provided, which are suitable for plastic, secure the complete bracket assembly to the heater. It's best to fit the central screw first on each side. After that, the 4 isolation mounts need tightened. Ensure these are sufficiently tightened to prevent rotation. Make sure there are gaps between the small metal isolation brackets and the main bracket assembly to prevent metal-to-metal contact. A screwdriver can be used to ensure the gap. Lastly, tighten the 3 remaining nuts and studs on the main bracket assembly. Double check that there are gaps between the small isolation mount brackets and the main bracket. Any contact will negate the performance of the isolation mounts. Installing heat air on the van. The handbrake bracket shown enables fitment of the heat air centrally at the location where the handbrake cables go left and right to the rear wheels. 4 M8 anti-rotation through floor bolts and M8 nylock nuts and washers must be used. This is the location to use if an underslung LPG tank, freshwater tank and grey waste tank are being fitted. Locate the heater and bracket assembly onto the 4 bolts. A vertical transmission jack can be used to do this for ease. Once located, hand tighten the nuts and then use a socket wrench to tighten up each of them. The ducting to be used for the air intake can be used to mark out the location shown in the video, with the pilot hole being drilled from underneath. Using a 98mm hole saw, cut a hole in the floor from inside the van. The intake can then be fitted to the heater with the appropriate size of pipe clip. Note, 90mm ducting must be used. Repeat the same steps for the warm air outlet ducting. Note, the pipe clips and 90mm ducting are not included in the kit. A separate 29mm diameter hole should be drilled for routing the wiring into the van. It's important to make sure the wiring is tracked neatly. Locating it in the position shown, along with the cable tie and pipe clips at either side of the heater, ensures a neat installation. Next, the combustion air intake should be fitted to the black plastic port of the heater with the clamp shown. 2 cable ties are ideal for securing the intake silencer to one of the chassis rails. The exhaust is the next item to be fitted on the metal port of the heater. 3 24mm metal brackets are provided to route the exhaust to the edge of the vehicle. Fit these to standard as stated in BS EN 1949. To finish this part of the install, fit the flue terminal bracket at the edge of the vehicle. A screw can be used to secure the end of the exhaust in place. To ensure air tightness in the combustion circuit, make sure both the air intake and exhaust clamps are fully tightened. After the initial rise of the exhaust from the heater, a gradual drop in the exhaust should be established to ensure any condensate generated runs out at the end of the terminal. Flue brackets provided are of different lengths to facilitate this. The exhaust outlet must be positioned in such a way that exhaust gases may not enter the vehicle interior or external living space. An 8mm straight or elbow fitting should be used to fit the gas pipe. The final installation steps are connection of the electrics, including the control panel, and positioning the ducting to suit the layout of your van. For details of the 12V DC and 230V AC connection, please refer to section 6 of the installation instructions. Once all is complete, ensure the installation is signed off by a qualified gas engineer in accordance with the installation instructions and BS EN 1949 to 2011.